Welcome back to another episode. Today, we're going to take a closer look at Nvidia. We have some pretty cool updates. One of my favorite updates that I'm going to discuss today has to do with ARM Holdings. The company recently reported earnings and they did showcase a lot of great information for Nvidia investors in forms of Blackwell, in forms of the AI market, and so much more. So, let's take a closer look in today's episode.
I want to thank The Motley Fool for sponsoring this video and check out fool.com/Jose for the 10 best stocks to buy now. With that link, you get a promotional offer for the subscription service. Now, let's continue with today's episode.
All right, so the first thing we're going to take a closer look at is on May 8th of 2024, Nvidia mentioned that their CEO is going to deliver a keynote ahead of Computex 2024. For those that are not familiar with Computex 2024, this is a huge tech conference in Taiwan. It focuses mainly in the tech space, but obviously whatever is on the now, right? I believe last year really focused on things like supercomputers, on the early innings of artificial intelligence. But right now, with AI being the full craze, we're probably going to hear a lot about the AI market. So here, NVIDIA doesn't necessarily drop any new forms of products or software solutions or anything around that we haven't heard about. So if you are an NVIDIA investor, I wouldn't say don't expect much of a price action move from this event. But if you are an NVIDIA investor, you definitely want to watch it because Jensen does share a lot of great information of how he sees the AI market, of where he sees the AI market going. We also might hear maybe some updates on past products and also maybe some updates on some partnerships as well that they might announce with some players there in Taiwan. Before we go any further, we are now on the road to 50,000 subscribers by the end of the year. Thank you all for the crazy support. So if you haven't and are enjoying the content, make sure to hit the thumbs up and the subscribe button. Finally, if you want to support the channel a little bit more, make sure to check out my special offer at fool.com/Jose. Now back to today's episode. So the other update I have here is on May 8th, the service now showcases an AI avatar of the future for its generative AI experience. And this is something that NVIDIA has been talking a lot about in the past. And obviously, NVIDIA CEO was at this Knowledge 2024, which is this conference for ServiceNow, a huge consulting company. So if you are an old-time investor of NVIDIA, you might be familiar with NVIDIA's Avatar solution and their digital avatar, right? I think it was during COVID when everybody wanted everything to be hands free, when health was like keep 20 feet away from each other. And it seemed like we were going to enter into this digital future a lot faster than expected. And NVIDIA had a pretty cool product. It was called their digital avatar, where if maybe you were a hospital or anything that had to do with like check in a doctor's office, maybe a hotel, anything that had to do with a check-in appointments or maybe a fast food restaurant where you take simple orders. There was this world where it was going to be a digital avatar that was going to take your order or check you in. That kind of didn't go as planned because obviously the world came out of this digital bubble that it was in during 2021 and 2020, and started to kind of get back more into reality. But it does seem that now, with the huge advancements that we're seeing in artificial intelligence, that we see that these avatar cloud engines can be a better solution than we thought a few years ago. So they kind of showcase this AI avatar, which I have the image right now. And the cool thing about this is obviously NVIDIA is not just a hardware company, right? They're a platform company. And what comes with the platform? Software solutions. So you can kind of get their Avatar Cloud Engine if you use their microservices, which is obviously available via NVIDIA's AI Enterprise. So if we believe that in the future, maybe not tomorrow, but in the future, in the next few years, we're going to have more digital avatar, more digital customer relations, then I think this bodes well for their software solutions. Not something that would move the stock price, in my opinion, but something to showcase that, hey, look, this is where technology is going, and this is how NVIDIA is providing a solution there. Now, at the beginning of this episode, I mentioned how ARM recently reported earnings. And ARM mentioned a lot of great things about the data center space. And they mentioned that they expected, ARM in general, expected to have a nice growth in the data center space. And one of the things when they IPO that was really strong for them was Grace Hopper. And Grace Hopper for Nvidia was an okay product. The main reason I believe is Nvidia was really focusing on Grace Blackwell and how it was going to be released in a few months after that, or about a year of that. But we can see from ARM CEO, he mentions, but I think now with Nvidia's most recent announcement, Grace Blackwell, you're going to see an acceleration on the data center in these AI applications. So here ARM CEO is talking how ARM is going to grab market share in the data center space, especially because of the huge growth in AI. And one of the big players that they see seeing a huge acceleration growth here is Grace Blackwell. So I've mentioned in the past how I personally believe Grace Blackwell is going to be Nvidia's best product so far, and we're probably going to get even better and better at that as the years continue. But it kind of showcases and gives me that positive evidence that this is the right direction, and Grace Blackwell will grab a nice amount of market share. Now, the other thing that aren't mentioned during their during their earnings call is about the way we should see AI space right now. So in the AI space right now, they're seeing that software is moving a lot faster than hardware, and that the hardware design needs to be upgraded quickly to make sure it's able to capture all these new AI workloads. So it's pretty much saying that, hey, look, technology used to advance pretty cool back then, but now with the way AI software and AI workloads are moving, you need to evolve a lot faster and at a faster pace, right? And in my opinion, that bodes really well for Nvidia. And Nvidia is one that has recently pushed from a 2-year cadence chip design to a 1-year cadence design, where every year they're going to release a new product, a new solution. And I don't know if Nvidia just keeps getting lucky, or they're just seeing this. They since Nvidia is a software company, they probably saw this coming, right? They saw all these software workloads continue to innovate at such a rapid pace. So instead, they decided, hey, look, while we used to design chips on a 2-year basis, for us to grab as much market share as we can, we have to do it on a 1-year basis now, and that's why we're getting that Blackwell this later this year. And we are already getting rumors that the next generation, which is expected to come in late 2025, is going to be called the Reuben. The Reuben processor or architecture. So this is pretty interesting. These are just rumors, but not all of it is rumors, right? Obviously, we know that in late 2025, we're already going to get the successor of Blackwell, because Nvidia mentions that they're going to do on the cadence. What's rumored so far is obviously the naming of it, which is Reuben, and we also have some thoughts of it. It does believe that it's expected to use in TSMC's 3 nanometer technology. It's expected to use TSMC's CoWoS L packaging, just like the B100. Is expected to be a chiplet GPU, just like Blackwell as well. And there's expected to be a Grace Reuben, which is the CPU and GPU combo as well, with the Grace being a new version of the 3 nanometer node. So all of that is kind of updates, rumors right now, but those are rumors that make sense compared to how Nvidia has recently mentioned. So I think ARM really shares a lot of great information, and I'm really excited of how it's moving. I think there's a lot of opportunity for Nvidia here in forms of custom market, but also their Blackwell market, and also with the new advancements as we go on to 2025, as AI software, like we saw, is it's moving at a faster pace than hardware. And in my opinion, that means that, hey, look, NVIDIA's already going 1,000 miles per hour. Competitors are nowhere near close. Software is going at 2,000 miles per hour. And the only one closing that gap at the end of the day, obviously in that scenario, no one would be closing the gap. Software would just keep going faster. But the only one getting close, trying to get closer and closer than anybody else is NVIDIA. Again, really weird example there. Math didn't make sense, but I hope you guys can see what I was trying to mention there. NVIDIA is going to leave everybody in the dust. So take care, have a good day, and see you next time.